Thank you and good evening. There was a few things I wish they would have talked about that we didn't talk about. The sale of JEA, got it? Our monuments and negative campaigning. So with that, if anybody has any questions or you just want me to lead right into
I
that.
want to ask about negative campaigning. We saw a very civil debate, no real personal attacks on anyone, but that has not been what we've seen on airwaves in the last few months.
So I asked Daniel Davis about that. I said, you gave me a Christmas card, a birthday card, and a bunch of hate mail. Do you love me or do you love to hate me? So he said, I want to win. So look, I'm not going to do negative campaigning. We have an enormous amount of problems in our city that we need to work on. And one of the things I really want to bring up is JEA, because everybody keeps wondering why JEA keeps being brought up. Through the overdevelopment that we're having, JEA is going to be sold again, and it's going to be sold at 1,000 cuts, because they're going to do it through the franchise agreement. The franchise agreement is what brought it together, and that's the thing that's going to tear JEA apart, is the development that's happening. So I wanted to bring that up. Also the monuments, those weren't brought up. People want to know that I brought up the bill so people could vote on taking down monuments. We see the UF Health that may be coming forward. They may be looking at that land right now as far as being able to take it, and the monuments are things that are in the way. So these are important things that are happening in the city. You're hearing one thing, that they're distracting us to look at another direction. So these are really important things. I'm surprised they didn't ask us some more of these questions.
Your thoughts on the issue with the stadium? Everyone said pretty much across the board, no new taxes, no new property taxes. Where are you on the stadium that you think would maybe set you apart? Because this is going to be a $500 million bill potentially for Jacksonville.
Great question. And well, look, we have spent money in the wrong places. We've got people in city government who are profiting off of their jobs here instead of using the money where it needs to be. If the stadium needs to be revamped, or if they may want to tear it down and build a new one, it's going to cost taxpayers enormous amounts of dollars. So we need to make sure that the money is being used properly. And right now, I don't think the money is being used properly in our city. I think there are too many people involved that are paying off too many other people, and they're getting taxpayer dollars. And I just don't think that's right. And I think if we put the money where it's supposed to be going, we could actually get things done, like a new stadium and better roads and infrastructure.
You struck a note in the debate, and right now, kind of not opposed to development, but being concerned about overdevelopment.
It's not just overdevelopment, it's bad development.
How do you define
Bad development is something that's not consistent with an area. We have what they call a FLUME, a future land use map. And what ends up happening is people spend, their biggest investment is on their home or their business, and they're going in expecting to have something when they purchase it without it being changed. And every 2 weeks, the city council comes in and changes that. And that makes it bad development. Because if somebody's bought a house or a building and they're expecting something to be where they've been told where it's a certain property or a certain lot, they expect that to be done. And what ends up happening is it gets changed every 2 weeks in city council. So when you have that kind of development, it affects our waterways. Because we plan decades in advance, and when we come in there and we constantly change it, it affects property values, it affects drains, roads. Look, we got so much development going in our city right now that we don't have new roads. We're coming in and we're repaving things. So we're not looking at the future land use map like it's supposed to be. Did that answer your question?
One of the things that during the Affordable Housing Task Force that was mentioned over the fall, was changing some of the zoning so that there could be more multifamily housing, things like that. Would you consider that bad development, or is that a part of the development strategy of Jacksonville to change some of the land uses so that there could be like multifamily development?
Great question. Great question. Look, there's certain parts of town that we need high rises and apartments, and it connects with buses and different parts of things that people can get to with grocery stores. But there's also bad developments. Part of your affordable housing, one of the things I stood against is that they're trying to build sometimes houses or these on contaminated land. And these are things that I really oppose on the brownfields, where we're going to put people in there who are having a problem being able to afford housing. Then all of a sudden we're going to put them in an area also with brownfields where now they're going to have to worry about if they're going to catch cancer, which we know some of these things are going to do it. So we need to follow the plans for long term to where instead of just changing it. I hope that answered your question.
A lot of voters in reality vote along party lines. We've had Donna Deegan leading in the Democrat, pretty much no negative ads against her. We have 3 Republicans, and yourself, and Mr. Davis, and Ms. Cumber, back and forth with negative ads.
Not with me. I don't have negative ads on
But
anybody.
there's been negative ones about you.
Correct.
Do you think the negative ads are hurting your party in this race?
Look, we've got so many problems in our city that we need to discuss and actually have solutions to the problems. And every time we do a negative ad, what that does is it's just talking about a person. It's not actually talking about a solution. My whole administration is going to be focused in on solutions to the problems that we have in the city. You have to ask them because they're the ones doing it, but I'm going to keep focusing in on the solutions to the problems that we're having. I hope that answered your question. Easy crowd.
And that's fine, guys.
Okay. Thank you very much.